Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick word about the stream. I'm not sure how good the internet connection is, so we'll see how it goes. I've had a couple of messages about the bit rate being low. We'll just play it by ear and see how things get on. So, yeah, the plan for today is to make some music here in Ableton Live, using sounds that I recorded on a recent trip to Sweden. We had a family holiday in Stockholm. It was really nice. I took my Zoom H2 sound recorder with me, and as we saw the sights of Stockholm, I also captured the sounds. So here they all are. I've got them organized and named here in this folder, and not going to use every single one, but I'm going to try and use quite a few. I think the place to start will be to make some kind of beat to get going with a something kind of rhythmic. Okay. Yeah, let's get going. In fact, what I'm going to do is start by making a drum rack of sounds, percussive sounds, that could give us a kind of foundation beat. So, percussive sounds. Let's have a branch snap in there. Okay, ooh, could be a bit too loud. Oh, actually that sounds okay. It's not distorting really, and it's a nice sound, so it's actually even got a pitch to it. I'm not sure whether the double is going to be hard to work with or not, but I'm going to go with that. Okay. Let's check out this clay pot sound. Also a pitched sound. Another. Okay. Dull rock. Faulty light clip.
Okay, I'm gonna play.
Let's go for some crunchy snow. There was quite a lot of snow in Sweden. Oh, I liked the middle crunch there.
It's snow crunch.
Some of these sounds have a little tag on the end. Well, I always actually try and tag the sound in the recording itself, saying what the sound was, because I found that if you go out and record 50 sounds, when you're listening back to them, you can't always remember what they all are. So usually I just tag it at the end with a brief description of what the sound is, and I've got my kids into sound recording as well, so now they know to do the same, which is pretty cool. A grip bin. Not sure about this one. Ice. Also quite a lot of ice in Sweden. I'm just looking at the waveform to kind of find where the best bit of the sound is. The sound of ice hitting a wall again. Knocking on plastic. A plastic what? I don't know. It's kind of a noisy sample, but I like that about it. Let's add a lamppost. Still looking for those percussive hits. Let's check this one out. Might work. Lots of metal objects. I've just got to the point now where if I see a large metal object, I've just got to whack it. Bit of a bird call in the background there as well. Let's find some non-metal things. A plastic pipe. Pipes often give a pitched note. You see people making cool instruments out of racks of PVC pipes. Yeah, quite like that. Could do something dancey with that. Oh yeah, it's great when you get playgrounds with instruments in them, like a giant wooden xylophone. So I'm gonna leave that there to come back to and make some melody with. A squishy octopus squelch. This wasn't me squidging a real octopus, it was a toy. And it made that kind of squelch when you squished it in the right way. I had to spend some time experimenting and finding the best way to squish the toy octopus to produce the sound. There's an interesting sound here where I just accidentally... I wasn't meaning to eavesdrop, but people near me were having a conversation and I heard the phrase, "Too many of my colleagues have broken arms." And I thought, I wonder what job that is. Oh, some wooden objects. That was recorded a bit too loud. Oh. Looks like this one was as well. You can adjust the mic sensitivity when you're recording, but on the fly you don't always have much time to get it exactly right. I like that though. Let's check out this wooden box as well. Similar issues here. Recorded a bit too high. That's a wooden box, really? Okay. But as long as we're not hearing loads of distortion, still okay to use. Anything else? I'm intrigued by this map clang. It obviously was like a sign with a map on it, not a paper map, because paper doesn't go clang usually. Okay. Let's start making a beat with these then. I'm gonna actually start with this wooden beam. Let's just get that looping to start with. Okay, let's double the length. So we can have some sounds coming in every other bar. Like that one. will put one of those in. The ice, I might just make it really quiet. Yeah, it works almost as a hi-hat. So we'll actually make that repetitive, but just not too loud so it doesn't irritate the ear. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Yeah, I like a minimal sound that just fills in a bit of a gap. I like it. Oh yeah, let's stick one of those at the start. It's a bit late coming in, that crunch. I'm gonna go back to, oh yeah, you can see there the start isn't really at the beginning of the sound. Let's go with that, okay. Just going to compress those sounds together. I'm already into it though. I do love a good found sound beat. Now I need to use this xylophone. Let's have a quick listen to it. Let's turn it on. It might be warping. I don't want it to warp at the moment. Some of these hits came out better than others. I'm going to use the two notes in the middle, and I can hear that they're harmonically related as well. They're two notes that are going to go well together. And let's add those in at rhythmic points. Let's put this one first. Let me get bang on the right start point there. Okay, and we'll start with just like one per bar, but they could always get a bit, more busy a bit later on. Okay, how's this? Yep, have that. Okay, let's start building up a few more. Oh. I think I meant to do it for this one. Let's make it different, so it's not going to be exactly the same each time it comes back. Want that one to be more syncopated ahead of the beat. Okay, and then I will copy and paste that recent pattern. Just going to put a quick EQ on that. There's probably a bit of low end that we don't need. You can actually hear a kid in the background. But again, it's just a nice bit of organic sound. Yeah, I'm happy with the quality of the recording though, it's cool. Be nice to hear that with a bit of delay on it. I'm not sure if it'll need it, but I often like to just try it to see how it sounds. Things in the wrong place there because the pattern's gone. Obviously didn't do my copying and pasting carefully enough. Okay, cool. I like it. I wonder what key we're in. I'm going to find that out. Work out which notes these actually are. Let's just drop the piano in. Dum dum. Basically in D, it's going between D and A, except that the pitch isn't quite perfect D. It's a little flat. So I'll just repitch the Ds. The A's sound okay to me. Okay, so it's going up 24 cents. I'll just copy and paste the repitched ones. Okay, and then from there I can copy and paste the whole sequence. Great. Yeah, so I think we'll be around D minor for this track. That's going to be our key. I'll get rid of that piano now that I've worked that out. There are definitely some other sounds that I've recorded. Some of these Sweden samples which are going to be pitched. So for instance, there's a boat, and Stockholm is a very watery city. There's lots of islands, so lots of boats. And after a few failed attempts and lots of waiting around, I managed to record the sound of a boat tooting its horn just before it left the dock. So there it is. It's quite a brash sound. But I wonder if we can use that somewhere. It could like signal the start of a new section. It is a bit like the air horn sound that you get in EDM. Let's see what happens when we stick a ton of reverb on that. Let's have a Valhalla room. Wow. I want it to sound darker. Okay, I'll just EQ it. Okay. Just shelf off all that top end. And keep it fairly quiet. Let's push it up a little bit more. Great, it's going well. Let's save it there. Okay, then maybe something to create some bass. I could just drop in a bass instrument. I'm not going to restrict myself to only using my found sound samples, but it would be cool if I could create a bass out of one of these. I wonder if a gull, a pitched down gull, some kind of... I mean, it would have to be pitched down quite a lot. Let's see. Just drop that in. It's also very... It's actually... How would you call that? It's like a ridged sound. Hey, but that is actually pretty cool. I kind of like it, but I'm not going to go with that. Let's try a few other things. What else could be bassy? A bouncing ball. No, there's not really enough tone in that. I could use the plastic pipe and pitch that down, but I'd quite like it to be something I haven't used at all so far. Let's check out this storage container. There is some nice bass, but not enough really. Not enough to it. Okay, a ringing anchor should give us a note at least. The problem with that sound, apart from being a bit quiet, is there's more than one note going on at the same time. Come on, drainage pipe. Help me out. That's a really interesting sound. Wow. Yeah, I think I've got to use that. It's almost like a zap laser beam effect with a wobble bass built in. It's peaking pretty high, so I'm just going to slap a limiter on it. And I wonder if we can get that in. Just occasionally. Something like that. And I might even put the same reverb that the horn's got on it. It's suddenly become super atmospheric. Let's actually layer that up with the horn. So we have a very atmospheric start to a section. And I'm actually going to put that a bit later. Just slightly. Oh. Okay. Back to bass though. I'm sure there'll be one of these sounds I can turn into a bass line. Or it could be the cow. So there's this cow that mooed really loud and it was a brilliant sound. And in fact, it loud so vigorously that a small child started crying. You can hear the poor kid there being unsettled by the loudness of the bellow. Oh yeah, there we go. This could be a bit of a bass line. The throaty moo of a vigorous Swedish cow. No idea what the note is. It's sort of a... That could get it close to the D. There's a slight pitch bend within the note itself. I'll just record that in so I have a bass line and then go on tweaking that sound a bit more. Yeah, it doesn't quite sound in key, does it? I think I meant for this to be here. Keeping it all in standard groups of 4. Okay, let's quantize that moo bass. So things to do to this: make the bass mono so it doesn't make things off balance by having really low frequencies off to one of the sides. I'm actually going to put the piano back in just so I can check the tuning. Okay. It's actually closer to a C sharp, which means the note needs to be a lot higher. And I'd made it lower. I like keeping it nice and deep. Don't want the bass to poke out too far with too much top end. I might just link the notes together a bit better in that ending phrase. Could still be quieter, that horn blast. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do some housekeeping. I'm going to name this beat. That's a xylophone playing the melody. That's okay because they're just kind of single effects. I'm going to rename this, so instead of calling it the cow moo, which is what made the sound, I'm just going to call it bass because that's what the sound is. But we'll remember it was the very vocal cow that creates that bass sound. I really like it already. What could we add next? Let me actually just look at the list of sounds again. What have we got? There's so much here. Canaries. I mean, that could just add some ambience, perhaps. There's this crank being cranked, which is... could add something rhythmic. There's something rhythmic in it already with the squeak that comes around at the same point each time. Geese. I mean, I used probably too many geese already in music. It's one of the go-tos. Geese always want to give you a sound. They're so eager to get recorded. And then when you come to make your beat and you want some interesting sounds to use, it's like, oh, there's always a goose sample. Sometimes you want something that's not a goose, though. A lot of metal objects. What's this noisy shuffle? I don't want it to be MIDI. That's almost got a rhythm. I mean, what I like to do with samples like this is use this Ableton's beat warping and create a rhythm out of it, even if there isn't one already. It's a bit like some bits are slightly piercing, bit kind of pop, a few pop sounds in there. Yeah, I don't think I'll use that, but I quite like the idea. Let's get back to the list. Current project. Some splashing sounds. Oh, yeah, did that same thing again. The piano can't play pigeons. Now, pigeons, also very vain birds that like to make themselves heard. But this one was two pigeons kind of fluttering around quite near me. So I was pleased. I got some, some good fluttery sounds. And this has a nice bit of rhythm in it. So I'm just going to drop that. Maybe that could be a bit of build up before the next section. Just get the timing right on it. And the level. Yeah, that's it. I don't really have to adjust the rhythm because it naturally just has a rhythm that fits. Yeah. And I'll put a bit of the reverb on it, but not loads. So they're definitely not that much. I'm going to pull the decay time right down. Yeah, I just want a smattering. Okay, I suppose most sounds that you find are percussive sounds rather than pitched. So it's always a lot easier to make rhythms out of found sounds than it is to make melodies and chords and things. Let's see what I can do with this alarm. Let's turn it down because it might be loud and obnoxious. Do I want to use that to make some kind of melody? Let me just experiment for a minute, because this could become the basis for some kind of riser effect. If I create a transposition envelope so that it ends at its kind of natural pitch, but we could start it, minus something. It would have to be quite a lot faster, I think. Sounds a bit like a Wookiee. That's a bit of like a chewy, raw. Let's see what happens. Speeding it up quite a lot. That's a riser. That's it. That's the kind of sound that builds the tension. So now the timing in it, it's not going to work to get it exact. But I think it's kind of okay. I'll just put it down. And I might put a filter sweep on that as well. So it starts low, opens up to build the tension. I think that works. think it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfectly in time. Definitely marks the transition into a new section. And it would be really nice to just have something new happening in the new section with some more melody or some chords or something. So I'm still hunting for something that's got a pitch sound that I can manipulate to create a playable instrument and a sampler. So I could maybe steal a sample from one of these musical recordings. We went to this outdoor museum and there were people playing authentic Swedish folk music, and it was really nice. But I need just kind of one little sample, and it's all a bit busy. Bits like that are quite nice. I could try chopping it up and using lots of those little bits like that. But I don't think it's going to fit with the key we're in. Did I record right to the end? No, because I thought maybe there'd be like a long held note at the end I could use. Maybe I could take this. I mean, there's multiple notes inside that. Let's try it. Gotta pull this all the way back over. Let's find a bit without the horn. Do you know what? That might be in the right key. Or at least, you know, not one that clashes. I might have to change the pitch of this boat horn. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to dive in with this and make something a bit melodic with it, with repitching it. Okay, with some kind of funky rhythm going on as well. Yeah. Something like that. Does it need to be? So let's see what happens if I pitch this down. Yeah, obviously every note in the chord goes with it, so doesn't sound exactly how you would if you were playing this on a guitar, say. That works. It's got a little bit of a kind of Sonic the Hedgehog vibe. That's the down 2, that one. Yeah, I think that works. I think I'll go with that. Okay, and now gonna EQ that sound to just get the best out of it. It's a little bit far to the right. I really love this plugin from Sound Toys called Micro Shift, and it's almost like a chorus. Like, it creates a cool stereo image using a combination of detune and delay. I like to keep a good chunk just squarely in the middle though. Let's find the delay that I used on the xylophone and add a bit of extra delay to it. What I really love to do is doubling tracks up or down an octave. So I'm going to bounce this. So we now have like a second version of that same part. And I'll just consolidate that into one audio file, and then I can take that and I can repitch it. Let's hear it down an octave. I love it. So this is going to be the kind of meatier part of the sound. And then I can try an octave up. See what that sounds like. That's the chipmunkified version. So I think I'll use that, but subtly. I'm going to make it quieter, and that one's going to have reverb on. And it might only come in for the second repeat, like that. Okay, let's hear everything together. With all these layers, everything can just come down a touch as well. And that high one, I'm going to make it wider than the others. Oh, it's quite nice on its own. Let's just hear the low one and the high one without the normal pitch one. Now let's hear the normal one and the high one. Maybe it's the low one that should wait to come in, so we get that meatiness. Okay. but with the high one as well. Okay, just gonna have a listen from the beginning. Hey, I was a bit slow on the uptake on the old chat there. So, thanks. Yes, just pitching things down an octave sounds great. So many times that works. Do it on vocals quite a lot. The thing about this track is it could get too repetitive very quickly because it's just loop based, and this is always the thing. You come up with some loops you like, and then it's like, oh, I'm just repeating the same things. Where can it go next? Well, I can at least emphasize the melody a bit. I'll group those string sounds together. Okay, and then let's have another re-entry and everything's in, and I'm gonna find some new layers from somewhere. Maybe it needs a 4 on the floor when everything comes back in, or maybe a sub bass. I won't do the sub bass in this session though, because chances are no one watching would actually hear it. I'm not going to use that riser the second time, because you hear something too many times, then it becomes tedious rather than exciting. Yeah, so I want to try and beef up this section. I'll go for something to try and make a kick, and some kind of high-pitched shaker sound as well. So we're adding more energy at the low end and the high end, and it should sound big and full. So what am I gonna use for a kick? Maybe a skip, a deep skip. Ooh, that's a very long, resonant sound. I'm gonna just hear a few of these. That's not deep enough. I mean, because it's metal, they're all kind of clangs rather than thumps. I think for a kick, you want a thump rather than a clang. So what's going to give me a thump? A wooden beam, maybe? Whoa. Yeah, maybe if I take this and repitch it. Gonna go for that middle one. Da-da. How low? I'm just gonna have a look. The frequencies we've actually got. Let's go a bit lower. It's obviously much too loud as well at the moment. And I'm gonna get quite aggressive with this EQ because I want the thump, but I probably don't want most of that woolly stuff in the middle. There we go. That's sounding a lot more kick-like. Then I'll compress it. Whoa. I don't want to compress the life out of it though. Okay, and I definitely want to make it mono. In fact, yeah, let's make the whole thing mono. Okay. Oh, that second one, actually just cutting off the start seemed to really help it. So it's got a faster attack. I also quite like using, there's these transient plugins, transient machines. There's an Ableton pack. So I'm going to use the impact plugin from that pack if it loads up. Just to give it a bit more low end punch. I think I'll leave the high where it is. Okay, right, now it's time for me to take a quick break. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, and I'm back. So with the very slightly fresher ears, let's hear how this kick is sounding. It's really just adding that low end thump. Let's hear the rhythms. And without the kick. Yeah, I think it's fine like that. You know, it's not as punchy as a real EDM kick. But that's okay, because I'm not making EDM. What kind of music do you call this? Found sound stuff. Just couldn't resist trying to tweak that sound a bit. Okay, now I just want a shaker, a that top end energy. So I need a kind of sound, and I might actually use the beat mode warping trick for this one. Oh, the barcode scanner. I'm just going to save that for later. That could be usable if I filter it out so it's just the kind of the top end. So this was on board a boat. Oh, we haven't really got top end, so let's try again. Gravel. What's gonna have top end? Noise. The noisy shuffle. That's the one I started out with. It's just too like intrusive. I could filter it. A pine forest floor. That's like an ASMR gold mine. I mean, wow. So I love it, but not for a shaker. By the way, in case you've just joined and you want to know what on earth I'm doing, I'm making a piece of music out of found sounds that were all recorded in Sweden on a trip to Stockholm. And so far, everything I've used, everything percussive, the melodies and stuff were all field recordings from Sweden. I mean, one of the field recordings was of two folk musicians playing, so maybe that's cheating, I don't know. Let's just see what kind of top end I can get out of this scraping ice. Yeah, I think that'll do. I think this will be our shaker. So this is the beats warp mode trick. I want it to preserve the start of every 16th note, to not loop, and to only play like the first 25% of each beat. I mean, it's more like a steam train than a shaker. Let's see how I can adjust that. We'll make it even toppier. We'll compress it. Okay, and we'll make it wide. I'm worried that it hasn't got enough toing and froing. I mean, you can always just automate it, but why does it sound late? It sounds a bit late to me, but it's just running that timing straight off Ableton's warp, so... Hang on. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use it with a very, very short playback length. Yeah. I like that. Okay, let's hear that with everything. Just going to put a little reverb on the standard pitch. Am I? Because I think it would sound. I really like the sound you get just by itself. So maybe I'm going to do this. Take out the high one until the drop. Oh yeah, the ice into a shaker. I mean, you can really, yeah, that's one of the things I love about warp in Ableton. So you take anything, any kind of continuous sound, and make a rhythm out of it, using that, and then set the kind of speed of the rhythm you want. It's just, yeah, it's quite easy to do. It's a lot of fun. And then I guess you could start chopping it up yourself after that as well if you want to create more interesting rhythms. For now, I'm happy with just that 16th note pattern. Okay, and now I'm going to go into a breakdown section, and it's going to include some new sounds, and I'm going to change up the this beat because we've heard lots of the same thing. I'm going to take out the plastic. So we're still going to have the same essence. It is good that I'm using the sounds of ice when they were captured in Sweden. It wasn't actually that cold when we were there. We were there in April, and it was like a blizzard when we arrived, and then it warmed up. So we kind of had the best of both worlds. We got to see the Swedish snow, but we got to go out and about and explore the city when it was warm. I'm going to take out the ringing sounds and the squish, because I want this section to sound a lot drier for a kind of breakdown. Cool. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. So it's the same groove. And I wanted to use a barcode scanner. And I will again just pitch it to where I want it to be. Probably lower, because I don't want it to sound annoying. It's really loud as well. could become a tune. Yeah, maybe this is going to be another melody actually. So I think that's the key we're in. I think that I found the home note. Maybe the best thing to do actually is put this in a sampler again. And then I can just play it. I really like that. It's going to sound a bit chiptune. Okay, so it's come up with a cool, quirky melody. Oh, okay. I don't want this to only be half a bar long. This barcode scanner, by the way, wasn't in a supermarket. It was in a museum, and it was one of the interactive displays at the museum. I can't remember what it was to do with, something environmental, and you could scan something with a barcode scanner, and it told you something like how long it took to break down in a landfill site. I didn't pay much attention to the exhibit in the museum. I paid more attention to the sound the barcode scanner made. It is kind of chiptune. It sounds a bit, retro console sounds, but not exactly. Okay, let's make that the kind of opening phrase and then have an answering phrase that's a bit different. Not quite that though. Oh. Maybe that? I'm a bit worried that I've changed the key accidentally without realizing it. If there was going to be a bass part in that. It's the cow. Moo. The funny thing is, because I haven't like normalized any of the pitch centers of any of these sampler instruments. Each one looks like it's in a different key. Like this one, is it F sharp? G sharp. G sharp's the home note for this one. I think it's okay. I'm not worried about the key. It sounds fine. Offbeat xylophone hits. Just one. Yeah. But then at the repeat of the melody, I'm going to have another barcode scanner instrument playing something contrapuntal. Brings in that interesting artifact in the sound. When I pitch it low enough, you get that wobble in the note. I think I better make the like the counter melody higher pitched, but I don't want it to get really harsh. Ooh, that's the cow. I think that should be okay. That doesn't work. Getting to the very high pitch notes. Yeah, I like it though. put some reverb on that. I'm going to go just for a stock reverb. I really like that. Let's keep it going. So something in the middle now. Yeah, so I just want one other. Maybe I'll use the barcode scanner one more time, but it needs to be lower rather than higher. Maybe, oh yeah, sounds good there. Keep the reverb on. I panned that one to the left. Let's put this one on the right. Thanks so much for watching. Yeah, thanks for dropping in and for getting involved in the chat. Appreciate that. So yeah, no worries. See you around. Yeah, I like it. Just a bit less reverb. And actually, I think the shaker could come back in there. The icy shaker. Ice, baby. Yeah. Do we want a kick as well? Yes, we do. I'm going to save it and actually just play it from the beginning, hear how it all sounds when it flows together. I feel like the groove should carry on there. I really like the groove and I want more of it. More of it. More groove. then or want the melody and probably the bass to be doing something different, I might start with the bass. And in the note editor, it's a G sharp that I need for the bass line. Let's carry that on. Let's reverse the first 2 notes. Yeah, and I like having that space at the end of the line. Let's just deal with this cow's sound. Just a bit less throatiness, a bit less cow saliva in the mix, and a bit more vocal tract. Yeah. I'm into this groove, gotta tell you. Should we put a wah at the start of that section? Announce the beginning of that? Maybe not the horn, but maybe yes to the drain pipe. That obviously doesn't start at the right time. Yeah, look at all that space before the sample. I want to use the pigeons more. We need more pigeon in the mix. Ooh, but I don't want the reverb on it at this point. Valhalla. Off you go. Yeah. That's what I want. Maybe 2 of them. Something still sounds a bit wrong with this, with the drain pipe. Maybe it's actually to do with the pigeon. I think that works. I think I just needed to start the sample a bit later. Okay, so here's the groove. Just to recap the sounds going on here, there's a beat made up of a few different percussive field recordings. A wooden beam is the kick. The sound of scraping ice has been manipulated with Ableton's warp to play back 16th notes. A drain pipe with lots of reverb on. A bass line that's been made from the sound of a cow that's in the middle of a moo. Some fluttering pigeons. All of these sounds were recorded on a trip to Stockholm a couple of months ago. Maybe the thing that's unsettling me about the drain pipe is the stereo. Let's check. Yeah, I think I want to use more of this xylophone and do more with it, get it moving faster. In fact, just see what this sounds like. But then change the levels. Yeah, I like that. Let's reuse that a couple of times. Might start the strings coming back in, but do a big filter sweep thing on that. Use the low ones. Bass needs to be different there. Maybe I'll keep the rhythm the same, but it can all be on one note. Yeah. Yeah. Great. By the way, just going to mention what this is all for. I'm working on an album at the moment called Stone Soup, and the really fun thing about it is it was crowdfunded, and everyone who pledged and backed the project was invited to send in a sound or multiple sounds, and all of the sounds that people have sent in I'm including on the album. So I've made a bunch of the tracks already, lots of different genres, just kind of going where the sounds take me. And yeah, I've put drum beats and keys and guitar parts and things in as well. It's not exclusively found sounds. but all of those sounds appear in the music. And then when I came back from Sweden with this haul of my own recordings, I was like, I could make a track out of these Stockholm recordings and include that on the album alongside all the other ones. So that's where this track is going to go. I mean, I like it. I'm happy with it. So it's going to need some more work and some mixing, but then it's going to be part of my Stone Soup album. I'm on the wrong lane there. Okay, so just at this point, when the filter is below, and open up. Yep, and then we can go to the kind of standard pitched version of that. And let's have the alarm. Yeah. I'm going to create a little bit of space, so this is going to be that slightly delayed drop. What's going to go in the drop? That's a good question. Like, have I got any vocal samples? Let's look back through my haul of Stockholm field recordings. I've got the geese. I don't want to use the geese. I always end up using geese. Well, I've got what I haven't used so far at all are sounds recorded inside the helicopter that featured on the cover of ABBA's album called Arrival. That was in the ABBA museum. I was quite pleased to get some sounds from it, but they're more percussive. It could be the horn. Oh, I think I want that on the drop. Any people? Now I've got, like, we visited this church in Sweden and I recorded some of the sounds. I've got a few sounds of people singing, and actually I heard some people singing outdoors. It was like Easter weekend and there was a group of I guess church folk singers singing Tazy chants, and it sounded really nice. And I asked, is it okay if I come and record a bit? And they were like, yeah, sure. Or they didn't. They probably said whatever yeah sure is in Swedish. The question is any portion of this going to work well before a drop? I think the answer is no. I might use the sound. Oh, I might have caught some interesting sounds on the tram. I just recorded the ambient sound of being on a tram going around Stockholm, and I named it Trambience, of course.
Next.
So maybe I'll get this sample of this tram operator, conductor.
Styrmansgatan next. Styrmansgatan next. Gatan next. Gatan next. Styrmansgatan next. Styrmans.
I like that bit.
Styrmans.
Styrmans. I've probably chopped a word up.
Styrmansgatan. Styrmans.
Just filter out the lows on that.
Styrmans. 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 Styrmansgatan. Styrmansgatan. Styrmansgatan next. Styrmansgatan next. Styrmansgatan next. Styrmansgatan next.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to fill the gap in with that.
Styrmansgatan next.
I want the filter to keep moving on the strings throughout this whole section. So let's make it do that.
Styrmansgatan next.
And I think I'll follow that up with the sound of the tram bell, which is the nice string.
Styrmansgatan next. Styrmansgatan next.
String, and then
Styrmansgatan next.
doesn't need to be that loud.
Styrmansgatan next. Styrmansgatan next.
It probably could do with starting a little bit further into the sample.
Next.
Not that far. That'll do.
Styrmansgatan next.
And then we want everything to kick back in. And I think by everything, I probably mean all of this, but with some extras. What? Come on. All of that.
Styrmansgatan next. Styrmansgatan next.
Okay. I'm going to use the rapid fire xylophone bit from earlier.
Next.
of the strings was just a bit too irritating. But I like it to be there for the top end. Okay, sort of drawing to a close. I guess this section, this drop, will be the last part of the track. I want some kind of crash, you know, when it...
Styrmansgatan next.
So I'm going to try and find something I can use for that in my selection of Swedish samples. Oh, I'm sure I've got a sound of a stick being thrown through the ice. Stick on ice. There was like an icy pool, and my friend's son threw a big stick through it, and it went splash. Stick. I'm sure I would have called it stick through ice. Let's see if this is the one. Stick on ice. Failing. What was I saying there? Failing to break the ice on the... So that was an attempt, obviously, to break the ice. That didn't work. Branch through ice. That's the one. Okay, we have that one. That's a better one. It's splashier. Okay. So it just needs like let's keep it extended. I think a bit of EQ and some reverb. Probably the same reverb that's on the boat. Let's stick that on. But let's see what that sounds like with everything else.
Styrmansgatan next.
And I'm just thinking of the way to end it. There'll be a lot of kind of polishing to do when it's finished. But thinking something like this. Do we need this? Okay, cool. So I think we've got a track. This is the basis of it. I'm pleased to have used plenty of the sounds, some of my favorite sounds like the cow and the boat honk and that last one of chucking a big branch through the ice. They're all in there. I think it's time to hear how the whole thing sounds. Okay, let's listen from the top.
Dansgatan next.
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Definitely heard some things, so I'm gonna change a little. Yeah, that sound still just not sounding quite right to me, but so there we go. That's my beat. One of the Stone Soup tracks, after I'd made the beat, I was like, this needs a rap. So I have rapped on one of them. I think this one doesn't need any vocals, rapped or otherwise. Gonna make sure that's saved. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for joining.